if a bomb explodes into number of pieces. Okay, here suppose today, why should we discuss the same model if we go to another model? If it explodes into three pieces, and the three pieces here travel in different directions, and he says out of the three pieces, one piece travels along x-axis, another piece travels along y-axis. Okay, then here the question is, initially the bomb is at rest, Nana. It is at rest. Bomb is at rest means there are no external forces according to Newton's first law. So happily you can say that external force on the body is equals to 0. F external equals to 0. Okay. But what about the internal force? If you see there, what I said, it is exploded into three pieces. Suppose if you take the three pieces like this, piece 1, piece 2 and piece 3 into three pieces, right? And here out of the three pieces, one he said travels along x-axis. This is the piece, right? Let it be like some m by 3. Okay, this is another piece, like suppose this is also m by 3. Oh, totally 3 we are getting identical pieces. Okay, no problem. This is the another third piece m by 3. Three identical pieces m by 3, m by 3, m by 3. One m by 3 travels along x-axis. Okay. So here m by 3 travels along x-axis. Suppose he says with a velocity v. And the other m by 3 travels with a velocity, say some v, same v. Then if they ask the question, what is the velocity of the third piece? This is the third piece. So he is asking, what is its velocity? Okay. So actually the question here I am writing, find the velocity of third piece. This is what I am asking. Okay. Third means better I write the numbers to understand. It is taken as first piece. This is taken as second piece. And it is taken as third piece. I am asking what is the velocity of third piece. Here first question, you only think, Nana, external force is 0. Okay, there is no force. And Newton said unless and until the external forces are applied, the body at rest should be at rest. Means if you think wisely here, after explosion, since external forces are 0, that should be at rest even after the explosion. Okay. But here problem is, once you check, after the explosion, different pieces are traveling in different directions, even though external force is not there. Then immediately we ask, sir, external force is 0, sir. Who pushed all these pieces away from here, the center? Okay. There we got the concept of internal force. These pieces, they fly off in different directions because of some force developed inside. That force is called as internal force. That's why here yesterday I already told that the pieces travel in different directions because of the influence of internal force. But what the piteous thing yesterday we observed, the total internal force on the system, that became 0. Okay, means algebraic sum of the internal forces on all the, in this case, 3 pieces now. So in this case 3 pieces, the internal forces, if you see, internal force on first piece, internal force on second piece, internal force on third piece, we don't know its direction of travel. That's why I did not draw the third piece direction. Okay, the total on all the three pieces, total internal force, if you calculate practically, that becomes zero. This is what I'm saying. Is equals to zero. This is on the system. But look at on the whole system, it is equals to zero. But the internal force is not equal to zero on the first body, not equal to zero on the second piece, not equal to zero on the third piece. On the three pieces, internal force is there, but algebraic sum equals to zero. That's why if you ask, sir, who pushed this one away from here, sir? I say, Are Nana, internal force developed, ra. How the internal force developed inside, sir? Then I say, Are, that is a bomb, ra, some chemical reactions occur, ra, if you lighten the wick. Because of those chemical reactions, some force is developed inside, ra. Okay, right. Because of chemical reactions, some internal force is developed. That internal force only pushed all the three pieces. But what I am saying, on all the three pieces, if you calculate the net force, that net force is zero. So don't get confused here. Internal force on the system equals to zero, but what I say, the internal force, that is F internal, is not equal to zero. This one, what you have to remember, is not equal to zero. On whom, sir? The individual particles. Not equal to zero on the individual particles. Okay. So if you see there individual particles, first particle, second particle, or first piece, second piece, you can find some internal force. But on the whole system, you are finding out it is zero. Okay. If you understand this point, then we can go in advance here. Means we move forward. Okay. Then here what he says, internal force is zero, sir, on the whole system. So we can apply the external force is already zero. Net force is equals to zero. That implies, I write here, total internal plus external. If you see there, total net force on the system is equals to zero. So we can apply happily the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay. So anywhere, not only in this problem, anywhere the net force. Okay, net force means every time we have to check internal and external, sir. No need to check. This is what I am saying. All the times the total internal force on the system is zero. So no need to check this one. Just we have to check the external force on the system is zero or not. Okay. If this external force is equals to zero, then you can say okay, F net equals to zero, then we can say here it obeys the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, this is the law of conservation of linear momentum. Then if you come to here, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, what can we write? Okay, that implies, I write here, what the linear momentum of first piece, the linear momentum of second piece, and the linear momentum of third piece. All the three pieces we have to check. Okay, that is linear momentum of first piece. If you see there, P1 is equals to how much? Once you check, that is equals to m by 3 into v. This is the linear momentum of first piece. And linear momentum of second piece, if you see there, m by 3 into v. Okay, this is moving along x-axis, so I take it as I cap, and it is m by 3 into v. Look at there, another linear momentum of second piece that is moving along y-axis, so I write it as j cap. Okay, and linear momentum of third piece I don't know, that's why I just put question mark here. I don't know the linear momentum of third piece. Okay, so what you wrote here, sir, p1, p2, p3. If you check there, I say here, this is the total linear momentum after the explosion. Okay, so this is the linear momentum of the system after the explosion. Okay, so if you see there, sir, what is the total linear momentum before explosion? Here, if you see, then I say linear momentum before the explosion. If you see there, this one I said it is at rest, Nana. At rest. So you can say there, at rest, the linear momentum is equals to 0. So the linear momentum before the explosion, happily you can write P equals to 0. This is before the explosion. Okay, that is the linear momentum after the explosion. So according to law of conservation of linear momentum, what can you say there? The total linear momentum before explosion is equals to the total linear momentum of the system after the explosion. So happily I can write there. That implies the linear momentum P, total linear momentum before explosion, I write equals to total linear momentum after the explosion. Okay, so total linear momentum before explosion, how much you calculated? You see here, since the body is at rest, the linear momentum we write here 0. That is equals to, after the explosion, here you found 3 pieces. For the 3 pieces individually you calculated P1, P2 and P3. Okay, so after the explosion I write it is exploded into 3 pieces. So total linear momentum I write it like P1 bar first piece, P2 bar the second piece, and P3 bar the third piece. I write like this. Okay, so total linear momentum, that implies I write here 0 equals to P1 bar, first piece I write like m by 3 into V I cap, is I write here plus m by 3 into V j cap, and third piece I don't know the linear momentum, so we have to find out the linear momentum of this one. Okay, that is plus P3 bar we write. Okay, this is the total linear momentum before, and this is the total linear momentum after what I wrote. Okay, so according to the law of conservation of linear momentum, we are trying to find out the linear momentum of third piece and its direction. Okay, this is one example what I started here. If it explodes, the bomb at rest explodes into number of pieces. Okay, then we have to come to here. Look at, yeah, shall I move to next page, Nana? Here. Or else we have to copy anything from here. Okay, moving to the next page here. Right. Moving to the next page, and you can see there in the next page, P3 bar equals to, by taking these two terms to the other hand, m by 3 into V, okay, I cap plus m by 3 into V j cap to the other hand. Okay, that is by taking these two to the other hand, I can write P3 bar is equals to minus m by 3 V I cap. Okay, taking the other one to the left hand side, I will get here minus m by 3 V j cap. So look at there, I am getting here m by 3, of course common, V is also common, and I am seeing there, look at, if you see there, and this is minus I cap minus j cap. Okay, so here if you see the direction, the third piece travels in what direction? If you look at there, its direction has here um, minus I cap minus j cap now. That is along negative x-axis, negative y-axis. Okay, so happily you can say there what the third piece travels in the third quadrant like this. If you see the previous figure here, the first piece traveled along the x-axis, second piece traveled along y-axis. The third piece not in the first quadrant, not in the second quadrant, but in the third quadrant. Why? Because I got minus I cap minus j cap there. Okay, so the third piece travels in this direction, I say like this. Okay, whereas these are the directions of first piece and second piece, what I drew here already in the first page. Like this is the direction of first piece and this is the direction of second piece. Like this, the third piece appear to travel in this direction. Okay, so this is P1 bar, what I wrote previously. This is P2 bar. And now we found the black one is the direction of P3 bar. Okay, this P3 bar, we got m by 3v into minus I cap minus j cap. Okay, look at this is perfectly in terms of I cap and j cap. So happily you can say what is its magnitude. Okay, then I write the magnitude of P3 bar. I write here m by 3 by into v taken out. Its magnitude is root over minus 1 whole square like ax square plus ay square. That is minus 1 whole square. So minus 1 whole square plus minus 1 whole square, you will get, this is 1 plus 1, 2, root 2 you will get here. So this is equals to root 2 times m by 3 into v. This is the linear momentum. Okay. And it's a direction, if you see there, this is exactly like minus I cap minus j cap now. Okay, even if you want the direction from here also you can see. Okay, with x-axis how much angle it makes. Yeah, sure, Shravan Yadav. So if you see there, this is the direction, T3 bar. And it's a direction, if you see from here, we can say that implies I can write here. What, sir? It's a direction like AY by AX, Nana. Okay. That implies I write here the direction just like AY by X, its direction is AY is M by 3 into V, Nana, minus by AX. AX is also minus M by 3 into V. AY by X is equals to tan alpha with X axis, usually what we see. Okay, that I am getting tan alpha is equals to here 1, but problem is, okay, alpha is equals to, you can't say 45 degrees. Why? Because it is not in the first quadrant. But luckily 1, 2, 3, third quadrant, all silver teacups, the tan function here is negative. That's why you can say here the angle. Okay, this angle is alpha. So tan alpha is equals to, even tan alpha is equals to 1 means tan alpha will be either 45, or you can say other possibility tan 135. Sorry, not 135. NET plus 45. That is 225. Okay, tan 180 plus 45 is also tan 45 plus tan plus 1. That's why here alpha is not 45. I am not taking the first quadrant. I got here in the third quadrant. So I am preferring the angle alpha with the positive x-axis is equals to 180 plus 45. That is equals to, I write 225 degrees here with the positive x-axis. This is the angle made with the x-axis now. Okay. If you have any doubts here in the first example, you can post in our group. I will try to clarify at my level best. This is the first example today what I posted. Means what I explained here. First point on the first slide. First point means, are you asking about this example, Nana? Or else the P equals to constant F external equals to 0. Means you are asking the example. Am I right? Why, Navi? This is just a recollection from yesterday's class, Nana. According to law of conservation of linear momentum, P is equals to constant if F external equals to 0. Yesterday's point. Okay. And this is just recollection, recap, Nana, from the previous class. And today's class actually started from here, from this example. Yesterday we discussed in the class, if external force is equals to 0, the linear momentum is equals to constant. And yesterday, yesterday I told internal force on a system is equals to 0. That only today, that point also today I explained in the class. Okay, and the whole system, the internal force is equals to C. Okay, right. Yeah, these are like a few examples. I think I already gave two examples yesterday, and this is the third example, Nana. So all of you followed about the thing is yesterday your voice was very low. Many people did not understand. Even the board was blurred. Okay. Right, right, right. No problem. Shall I explain the? Okay, okay. Shall I explain those examples once again here? Nisha Kalli? Sure, sure, sure. Okay. So, Nana, this is actually Nisha is asking to explain the examples yesterday in the yesterday's class, what I explained. And she was saying that the board is blurred and my voice was also very low at yesterday in the class. Okay, no problem. And then here, yesterday what I've explained, try to give some examples related to law of. Sure, Nana. Means which one, first one or second one? First slide or second slide? Yesterday, what I explained means better we write the date. That is 27th, what we discussed. I tried to explain few examples related to law of conservation of this linear momentum, Nana. Okay, and what I said in the previous class, that is Thursday's class, not Thursday's, that is I think 27 means 26, 25, 25th class. Now we have discussed that in the class, law of conservation of linear momentum. I don't know whether I explained or not. But I confidently say in the class we discussed about the first law of Newton. If the external force is equals to zero, the body at rest will always be at rest. So F external equals to zero. The last before class we discussed is zero. Then we can say then according to the formula F external is equals to dP by dt, Nana. F external equals to 0, then I write 0 equals to dP by dt. And from this, by differentiating whom we will get 0? By differentiating the constant. That's why here P should be a constant. P is equals to P is a constant, correct, Nana? P is a constant, Nisha. And if P is constant, we say according to our physics, P is conserved. Anywhere constant means conserved. Okay, it is nothing but the linear momentum is conserved, so we call it as law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, this is what I said. Even previously she asked, what is this first slide here? In the first slide, what is this, sir? Okay, this one, Nana. P is constant if f external equals to 0. What I wrote at the first point. Okay, it is called law of conservation of linear momentum. simply I'm writing like every time, that is a big word. So in a short form, I'm writing like LCLM, law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay. So in this law of conservation of linear momentum, what we say, first of all, every time we have to check, Nisha Kalli, external force is zero or not, that we have to check. Then yesterday I tried to say about apart from external force, any other force is there or not. Okay, that we checked and we found in the case one, that is explosion. Okay, in this explosion, yesterday I tried to say what Nana, the bomb actually explodes into two or more number of pieces. Okay, for the explosion, who is the cause? If you step back and think, then we will get some idea. Because of lightning the wick, some chemical reactions occurred inside and some internal force will be developed. Okay, that internal force after exploding, suppose this is a bomb and explodes into number of pieces, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 number of pieces, suppose exploded. Okay, all pieces will fly in different directions like this piece flies in this direction, the other piece flies in this direction, and the third piece, fourth piece, like different pieces fly in different directions like this. Okay, while flying, immediately we ask, sir, here bomb is initially at rest, sir. At rest, there is no external force, sir. There is no external force. Newton says the body at rest should be at rest, sir, whatever happened. But here the pieces after explosion, they are not at rest at the same place, sir. They are trying to fly in different directions. How is it possible? We ask. Okay. Then I say, Nana, after explosion, the internal force newly created inside the bomb, Nana, that internal force tries to push all the pieces in different directions in such a way that the total internal force on the system means total algebraic sum of internal forces, total internal force on all the pieces, if you calculate, that we will get zero. This is what I said yesterday. And even in the previous slide also I said, no need to calculate every time the internal forces, Nana. On the system, if you are trying to see, all the times that internal force is zero only. No doubt at all. That's why initially at the beginning we are seeing, but later going on solving the problems, we never think about the internal force. Internal force on the system, if they ask, directly we put the answer zero. That's it. On the system, it is zero. Okay. So initially we are checking that internal force is zero. Means here, suppose if you name like F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F1 to F9, all algebraic sum equals to zero. This is what I'm saying. F internal equals to zero in case of explosion. Okay, so internal force is always zero. Suppose the external force is zero, then why don't you apply the derived formula at the top? F external is equals to zero. What we derived here, the linear momentum of the whole system. P is constant, means this is of whole system. So whole system is constant. Okay, that is P of the system is equals to constant according to law of conservation of linear momentum. Of the system means what you are trying to calculate, sir. Suppose PV is equals to constant you got in your chemistry. Then immediately what we write, we don't stop here. Immediately we write at two different states. We write P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. Okay, means before changing, after changing. right? What before changing the pressure, what is P1 V1? After changing the pressure, what is P2 V2? Okay, we calculate, and before changing is equals to after changing we equate. I think you know this is Boyle's law in your chemistry. Okay, in the same way here I am trying to say, what if something is constant, then before is how much, after is how much. Before here what, sir? Before the explosion, after the explosion. Okay, like P1 V1 equals to P2 V2, how you wrote. In the same way I will try to write here. P of the system is constant means that P of the system before is equals to, means before explosion is equals to, I'm moving to the next slide, before the explosion is equals to, I write P of the system after the explosion. Okay, P of the system before explosion is equals to P of the system after the explosion. Okay, then here, uh, using that concept, Nana, what law of conservation of linear momentum? Theoretically, it is very easy to understand. Oh, in the numericals, we have to take care, right? 2 points we have to check, right, before using this formula. What, whether the external force is zero or not, first we have to check. Luckily, suppose external force is equals to zero, immediately we can apply the law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, while applying the law of conservation of linear momentum, just we equate the total linear momentum of the system before the explosion to the total linear momentum of the system after the explosion. That's it. This is what we have to do. So now are you able to, all of you Nana, able to follow how to apply this law of conservation of linear momentum? And what are the conditions here we have to check there before applying? Good, good. Okay, just you have to check once here what external force is zero or not. And number two, if external force is equals to zero, immediately try to apply the law of conservation of linear momentum. While applying the law of conservation of linear momentum, what we have to do is before and after calculate total linear momentum, and happily you can equate. But take care, it is a vector now. Who the linear momentum is a vector. Linear momentum is a vector means directly we should not add calculating P1, P2, P3, so on, blah, 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 and you should not add them. Like suppose this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, like the linear momentum values, Nana. Okay, casually I am saying 2, 3, 4, 5. And don't say, sir, linear momentum of these 4 is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, sir. Okay, it is a vector. That's why you have to say that 2 is in what direction, the 3 is in what direction. Okay, uh, here 3 is in what direction, 4 is in what direction, 5 is in what direction, we have to check every time. Okay, and here including the direction, here you have to write, like that's what I did in this problem. Checking first one, fly in what direction, along x-axis, oh, along x-axis are I cap. Second piece flies in what direction? It flies along y-axis. Oh, y-axis are then j cap. Then the third piece flies in what direction? I don't know. Okay, after using the law of conservation of linear momentum, we found that it is in the third quadrant. Okay, in the third quadrant, making how much angle with x-axis? That's what we calculated. Okay, so every time checking is also very important. Linear momentum is not a scalar. Keep in mind, once again I am repeating, it is a vector. So you have to say including the direction, not only the magnitude, including the direction you have to say. Okay, so including the direction here, how to calculate. For that, yesterday I gave two examples in the college campus. What, like suppose example one. Perfectly, I did not remember the same example, Nana. Just I try to say. Okay, like I think yesterday also I started like a bomb at rest explodes into two pieces of masses like m by 3 and 2m by 3. I think. I don't know perfectly. I think it explodes into two pieces m by 3 and 2m by 3. Okay. So here this is of mass. Yeah, thank you. Then here this is of mass m by 3 and this is of mass 2m by 3. And yesterday what I gave, I think I gave, this is initially at rest. So I'm writing here initially, this is at rest. Okay, who the bomb. Okay, the bomb is initially at rest and it explodes only two pieces, Nishakal. Two pieces, and one piece he is saying there travels like suppose along x-axis with a velocity some v. Okay, so after the explosion, what I asked in the yesterday class, after the explosion, it is a simple question actually. Find the velocity of second piece. Okay, what is the velocity of second piece? So here already we did one there. Okay, the tough one we solved in the first page there. Okay, I think this one easy. Now you can easily understand what first piece of mass m by 3. So in the same way like in the first example I gave there, if you come to here, the first piece I write p1 is equals to its mass. Linear momentum, how we calculate? With the product of mass to velocity. So mass is m by 3, velocity is v. So linear momentum of first piece I write here m by 3 into v I cap. I write here. Why? Because it is traveling along x-axis. And the second piece I don't know. So just I put the question mark here. This is what I wrote here. The linear momentum of the two pieces here, only two pieces. The two pieces after the explosion. Okay. So I am going to write here. This is total linear momentum after explosion. Before explosion, if you see there, it is at rest. At rest means the linear momentum I write before the explosion. How I write? That is equals to simply its mass. Mass is m into its velocity. It is at rest. Velocity is 0. So total linear momentum is equals to, I write 0. This is p before the explosion. Okay, so total linear momentum before the explosion, total linear momentum after the explosion. This one, what I said, first you check and write. But before writing these two, what we have to check like a litmus test, whether the external force is 0 or not. Okay, external force, it is at rest. Again at rest, F external equals to 0. So first checking was completed. Then happily you can apply the law of conservation of linear moment. That's what I am going to do now. Okay, so according to happily I write here, according to law of conservation of linear momentum. Okay, what we have to write here, what I highlighted there, you see, P of the total system we have to calculate, what before the explosion and again after the explosion. That already I did here. Before the explosion how much and after the explosion how much. So according to law of conservation of linear momentum, following the condition f external equal to 0, I am writing here total linear momentum before explosion is P before equals to P after. That is, I am going to write here 0 equals to P after. If you check there, two pieces are there. So two pieces I am writing here like a P1 bar. I have to write in vector form. Why? Because it is a vector. Linear momentum is a vector. P1 bar plus P2 bar. Okay, that implies I write here 0 equals to P1 bar, I write it as m by 3 into V I cap plus P2 bar, I don't know. That's why simply I write it as P2 bar. Okay, so if I bring this one to the other hand, I can write P2 bar is equals to, what can I write? Minus m by 3 into V I cap. So direction I came to know m by 3 into v is the magnitude and minus I cap. So second piece travels in what direction? Directly I say it travels along negative x-axis. So happily now you can draw. It travels in this direction. Okay, quite opposite direction if it explodes into only two pieces and that too initially at rest. If it is initially at rest and explodes into two pieces, means you have to understand here there are two conditions. What are the two conditions? One is at rest, other one should explode into two pieces only. Only two pieces, two and two, two only. Okay. So here m by 3 into v minus I cap is equals to I write P2 bar. Okay, this is linear momentum. Then immediately student will argue, sir, you calculated the linear momentum. Sir, look at the question. Here he is asking velocity of second piece, sir, not linear momentum of second piece. Okay, what is their linear momentum? Again, we know it is nothing but mass to velocity, product of mass to velocity. Okay, so linear momentum of second piece, if you see there, its mass is 2 by 3 times m, 2 by 3m into its velocity, that only you are asking, so I don't know, let it be v2. So 2 by 3 times m into v2 is equals to, I write m by 3 times v times minus I cap. So if you see there, Nana, here and there, you can understand few things get cancelled. What are the things get cancelled? You can check there. What are, one is m will be get cancelled here. Okay, and even at the denominator 3 also will get cancelled. So if you see there, 3 get cancelled, m get cancelled. So you are getting there, that implies after cancelling the terms, 2v2 is equals to v times minus I cap. So you are getting v2 is equals to half of v by 2, half time, 1 half times the velocity times minus I. This is v2. Direction already I said here, it travels along negative x-axis. So here the magnitude, if you want to say, I can say its magnitude is velocity of second piece is simply v by 2. Direction is negative x-axis, along negative x-axis. This was one example I gave yesterday. Okay. So any doubt here, Nana, in this example and yesterday's class, what I explained on the book? No doubt. Okay then. Do you want to copy any pages here? This is actually second page. Shall I move to third page? Okay, moving to the third page here. Right. Again, do you have any doubts here in the third page, Nana? If there are no doubts, I will move to next page. Okay, I'm moving to the next page here. Okay, this is initially what I explained. If the bomb at rest explodes into two pieces, what happens means what the concept you learned here from this. Okay, next time, no need to do all these things. If it explodes into two pieces and that too initially at rest, directly you should be in a position to say that the second piece travels in quite opposite direction to the first piece. Okay, this is the concept what you learned from yesterday's example. So better I write the conclusions also so that you can understand. I think you can understand more clearly. This is my point of view only. Conclusions. Here I am trying to write what when not only here anywhere when a bomb at rest. Okay, when a bomb is at rest, bomb at rest explodes only in how many number of pieces? Only two pieces case. Explodes into two pieces. Okay. Then you can say no need to do like this much one page of explanation. Directly you should be in a position to say, sir, happy you take the third piece travels in quite opposite direction, sir. Okay. The second piece into two pieces. The other piece travels in what direction? In opposite direction to whom? In opposite direction to the direction of motion of first piece. To the direction of first piece. This is the one point you can say. And number two, you can understand one more point, Nana. Here, suppose their masses are equal, not like unequal pieces m by 3 and 2m by 3. Okay, if their masses are equal, you can say their velocities are also equal in opposite direction. Okay, if you see only the magnitude, once you check what we wrote here, P2 is equals to minus m by 3 in times V I cap means P2 bar is equals to what I wrote there, m by 3 times V times I cap is nothing but P1. So P2 bar is equals to minus P1 bar you wrote. Okay, from here what can I say? This negative sign indicates opposite direction to the first one. Okay, what about the magnitude? If you see their magnitudes are equal, that one more point you have to recognize. Okay, they travel in opposite direction, not the velocities, Nana. I'm saying the linear momentum, not the velocities. Once again, I'm repeating, they are not the velocities, they are linear momenta. Their linear momenta are equal, okay, provided conditions applied at rest explodes only into two pieces. Their linear momenta are equal. That's why if we go deep into the questions, there every time we don't write like this here in the previous page and directly we write, Array, what are the conditions? Array, bomb is at rest. Okay, next, it is exploded in two pieces. Oh, at rest to two pieces. As simple this problem is. The linear momentum of magnitude of first one, that is m1 v1, the magnitude, Directly you can equate it to m2v2 ray. That's it. Simple, you will get the answer. If they ask the direction, then you write like this ray. Aura, like this ray. Simple, m1v1 equals to negative of m2v2. That is P1 bar equals to minus P2 bar, or P2 bar equals to minus P1 bar. Okay, quite opposite direction. So next time you should be in a position to apply this formula directly, provided the bomb at rest explodes into two pieces. Okay, right. These are the two conditions here. And then here the third one, if you see what I observed, and even you also observe that. Okay, if their masses are equal here, not only m and m, here masses are equal means what I have to write now? The mass of one piece as m by 2, mass of other piece also m by 2. Equal masses. If their masses are equal, happily in the next page, you can write what here? Sir, m1 is equals to m2, sir. So we understood, sir. Don't try to explain like the main students are here. We easily understood m1 is equals to m2, sir. If you cancel them, I will get directly v1 is equals to v2. If they ask that direction, again I write m1 cancel. I can write v1 equals to opposite direction to v2. Okay, this is bar directions. Better even here also I put the bars, velocity direction. Okay, this is another point what we observed. If their masses are equal, they travel in opposite directions. Again under the conditions. Conditions every time we have to recollect. Again we have to see the bomb is at rest or not and explodes into two pieces or not. Okay. And you can see this example today what I explained into three pieces. Okay, try to understand it conceptually, Nana. Okay, why? Because every time checking there, writing P1, writing P2, writing P3, and applying the law of conservation of linear momentum, writing everything, and then finding out the P3 like this. Okay, this is looking like here a lengthy procedure. Okay, but conceptually try to understand. Here look at 0 equals to, I wrote what, when the bomb at rest explodes into three pieces, 0 equals to P1 bar plus P2 bar plus P3 bar. So P3 bar, what I understood is equals to, if I bring these two terms to the other hand, negative of P1 bar common P1 bar plus P2 bar. From here what I understood. Okay, so the same point if I copy there, you can simply solve this question not in this lengthy manner, in a short manner. How, sir? You can see there in the conclusions. Fourth point I am going to conclude like, if again conditions are very important. Again I am writing when a bomb at rest. So the condition again satisfied at rest. Okay. Explodes this time into three or more number of pieces, three pieces. Okay, here this time the condition is not two pieces, three pieces. Okay, then I write here what the linear momentum of third piece without solving like in the first slide or second slide. P3 bar equals to, directly I write negative of P1 bar plus P2 bar. Okay, so just casually you observe here, P1 bar he gave there like this, P2 bar he gave like this. Okay, and its magnitude is m by 3, mass is m by 3, its mass is 2m by 3, and sorry, 2m by 3, and its velocity is unknown. Its velocity is, sorry, its velocity is given how much, Nana? Same, I think. Yeah, same velocity. Oh, equal pieces, m by 3 and m by 3. Okay, okay, okay. Then here also the mass is m by 3 in that example. M by 3 times velocity, m by 3 times velocity he gave. Okay, look at their magnitudes are equal. Magnitudes are equal means the resultant according to parallelogram law of vectors exactly will bisect the total angle between the two vectors. So one point I can understand what this angle or that angle is 45 degrees. This is actually what the resultant means A bar plus B bar. This is the direction of these two, resultant of these two. But actually what you wrote P3 here, once you check, it is quite opposite direction to P1 bar plus P2 bar. Negative of P1 bar plus P2. So negative. Happily I take quite opposite direction like this. Quite opposite. And it has the magnitude same as this one, only direction is changed. Or here if I ask what is the magnitude of P3, even you also say sir, magnitude is sir mod of P1 bar plus P2 bar. While writing the mod, sir, no need to write the negative sign, that negative becomes positive. Okay, so this is mod of P1 bar plus P2 bar. So direction you can check there, it is 45 with x-axis, so it is also 45 opposite angle. It's asking what is the total angle with x-axis, that you can say up to here 180 plus 45. See here, just in the diagram only you are saying the angle alpha is equals to 180 plus 45. Not even occupied a part of this slide, just a small part here occupied, not even quarter of this line. Okay, this is alpha, which one directly you can say 225. What about the magnitude, sir? Array bhai, here these two are of equal magnitude. Equal magnitude means mod is root 2 times the magnitude of 1, m by 3 into v. If you remember this shortcut, directly you can write root 2 times m by 3 into v. Sir, I did not remember the shortcut, sir. Simple Pythagoras at least you try to do. Like root of m by 3 times v square plus m by 3 times v square. Both are equal, taken out. So m by 3 v common. Then root of 1 square plus 1 square, that is 2. So you are getting the answer m by 3 v times root 2. The same answer we got here. You can check root 2 times m by 3 into. Okay. This is the shortest way how to solve the question. Okay, this is the way of understanding the concept. So here I explained for 2 pieces and for 3 pieces. Okay, and I think look at the 2 examples. I'm going to erase this part and I think you understood. Okay, so here I am erasing this part. This is the case what I explained. But look at first example and second example. In both the examples, I think you recognized one point. What? In both the examples, the verb is at rest only. Here, at rest explodes into 3 pieces. Here, at rest into 2 pieces. Sir, the bomb is not at rest or it is in motion. This was one more example what I explained yesterday. So the other example what I explained yesterday is a bomb of mass m. Okay, suppose this is a bomb of mass m, but it is traveling with a velocity here. It is traveling with a velocity some v along x-axis before the explosion. Look at here. So before explosion, the bomb is not at rest. Is not at rest. Sir, if the bomb is not at rest, external force is zero now, sir. Then look at, you ask one question here. Sir, the bomb is not at rest. Is the velocity constant or variable, sir? Then I said yesterday in the class, it is moving with some constant velocity. V is constant. Then again go back to your Newton's first law, what he said. The body at rest or the body moving with the constant velocity. Okay, in the two cases, when no external force is applied, the bomb at rest will be at rest. The body moving with the constant velocity moves with constant velocity. It is continuously moving with a constant velocity means the external force equals to zero. So first condition, this is what I am saying. Every time you have to check. F external, that is equals to zero. How can you say, sir, external force zero? Are simple, since the velocity of the bomb before explosion is constant. It is not changed since V is equals to constant. Oh, external force is zero. So, sir, if the bomb explodes into pieces, two or more number of pieces, are you going to apply the law of conservation of linear momentum? Sure, I am going to apply the same thing. Okay, and here, suppose after the explosion, this is exploded into two pieces, like, okay, and here the first piece, I think yesterday I took the mass as m by 3 and the other of mass 2m by 3. But I did not remember how much velocity I took here for the first piece. If anyone remembered, you can say the velocity. Anyone remember, Nana? The velocity, how much yesterday I took here? No one remembered. First piece V by 2. Okay. Right. First, for 2m by 3, na? Okay. I think then this is 2m by 3. Heavy piece travels in the same direction. Right, good. This is correct. Heavy piece. Right, good. So here, this one I am taking the mass as 2m by 3 and this is m by 3. This is 2m by 3 and this is m by 3. 2m by 3 travels, they said, with a velocity v by 2. Okay. So this is traveling with a velocity v by 2 in the same direction, means in this direction only. Okay. Then after the explosion, what is the velocity of third piece? Find the velocity of m by 3. Okay. Now you check, you can easily solve this problem. How, sir? Look at, you understood the point, F external equals to 0. So you have to calculate what is the total linear momentum before and the linear momentum of first piece and second piece of the two pieces after the explosion. Okay, so total linear momentum before is, its mass is m and its velocity is v, and that is traveling looking like along x-axis, mv I cap. And total linear momentum after the explosion, you see there, first piece you said heavy piece 2m by 3, mass is 2m by 3, its velocity is v by 2, and it is also traveling in the same direction I cap, and the second piece mass is m by 3 and its velocity I don't know, let it be v2. That v2 bar equals to how much is the question. So again here I calculated what the total linear momentum before and the total linear momentum after. This is before and this is after the explosion. So simple, in this page only you can complete the part. What total linear momentum before according to LCLM, what we write, mv I cap is equals to, this is total linear momentum before number, is equals to total linear momentum after. Here only I think you can cancel 2 cancel there. You can write m by 3 v I cap. Okay, this is P1 bar plus P2 bar, that is m by 3 V2 bar. So if you cancel m on both sides and you will get v I cap here after cancelling m, taking common and cancelling m, v I cap equals to v by 3 I cap. This v by 3 I cap taken to the left hand side, v by 3 I cap is equals to, you are getting v2 bar by 3. That implies after taking the LCM and solving, you will get 2v I cap by 3 is equals to v2 bar by 3. So 3 get cancelled. You are getting mod of v2 bar is equals to, how much you are getting, 2v plus 2v. So it will be in the same direction. Okay, I got plus 2v. So the second piece also travels in the same direction. That's why, Nishat Ali, you try to understand, if it explodes into two pieces and the bomb is not initially at rest, you can't conclude like this. The other piece travels in opposite direction. You can't conclude. Why? Because this is also traveling in the same direction but with a velocity of 2v in this example. Okay. So is it clear, Nana? Do you have any doubts? We already crossed our limits. It's 9:22. Okay, good. So no doubts here. Right. So shall I wind up the class here, Nana? Okay.